morning, everybody. And we are live. Hey, Game Room, welcome. I have had a BRB. I look different. Yes, I do. Yep. Last Wednesday I had mutton chops, and I rather enjoyed them. But sadly, I had to get rid of them because the wife hated them. So, you know. Hey, K-Money. Elliot, welcome, guys. So I'll be growing it all back, but I gotta shave it off every once in a while just because it gets annoying eventually, and I'm not skilled and I'm lazy, so trimming my beard is not an option. It's all or nothing for me. And when I shave, I don't even wet shave. I use a razor or an electric razor, and I don't even get it very far down. I'm that awesome that I don't ever have to shave for real. Thank you, K Money. Rincewind. His real name is Neil Rishman. Rishman, I think, is his last name, and he's the same guy that built the cabinet artwork for us, and I'm hiring him to build us some desktop pictures. And this is a work in progress. This isn't a finished desktop, but when they're available, I'll get them up for everybody to download and use if they'd like. So, and this, of course, we'll use something like this on the bar top as well. And I got, you probably can't see very much, but I got everything rearranged in my office here so that I have, the TV with all my consoles and then the bar top next to it. So I finally have a permanent place for the bar top and can use my console stuff again. So that's cool. That was the weekend project. Hey, Quad. Shades. Welcome, guys. So, Vissy, welcome. Let's say a quick prayer here, and then we'll get started. Lord, thank you for all these people that join up and help me develop this stuff every Monday and Wednesday, Lord. And we ask that you just be with us this morning, help us to be productive, and have good conversations, and keep the trolls away, so that we're able to focus and enjoy the stream. And that's it, Lord. Just help us be productive and loving and everything else. In your name we pray. Amen. Hey, Sid, welcome. Jade, welcome. Oh, what do you got, Jade? Do you need a prayer request? EA? Amen. Let me know what your request is, Jade, and no problem, I'll pray for you. Assuming that's why you said wait. So, in the meantime, I mentioned that we were going to come up with some responses for LaunchBox Bob, which I'm not going to say that's the official name of the Microsoft David desktop voice, but I just tweeted that out. I figured we could go through some of the commands just for starters here today. For fun, just go through some of the voice recognition commands, and maybe you guys can help me come up with some fun responses to fill it out a little bit. So that's one thing, and then really this week is still a bug fix release until I feel like we're ready to put out the actual 6.9 release. and then we'll go forth with the release. So, oh man, I'm deathly afraid of the dentist too, I have to admit. So yeah, we'll pray for you there, Jade. Anything particular that you're worried about, or just the visit? Pain. Gotcha. All right, let's pray. Lord, I thank you for Jade and all the ways that she's helped us in this, in these streams, and we thank you. I'm just glad that she's around here with us, Lord. So help her today as she goes to the dentist. Help it be a pain-free experience. Calm her nerves so that she's not worried about it. Just help her to focus on different things so that she's not constantly worried about it. Give her peace and strength and all that stuff that she needs in order to get through this dentist trip. Help the dentist to do all the right things, to make the right decisions, and just get her mouth in tip-top shape. In your name we pray. Amen. Good morning, Pac-Man. All right. Oh, I forgot to pray for pain, for no pain. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, the Lord knows what I'm talking about. What you need, Jade. We're good. So, command type. This class here, we have, eventually all this stuff is going to be configurable so that you can change pretty much everything. And I actually have the code to make it configurable, but I didn't want to open it up right away because, of course, anytime you customize something, it makes things more error prone. And so I wanted to wait for people to be able to actually customize all the inputs and the responses until we had this solid, basically. So, but what we can do right now is we can add some snarky, fun responses to things. So hopefully you guys have some good input for us. This is a list of all the commands here. I am going to zoom this in a little so you guys can see it a little better. No problem, Jade. You use Sally. Interesting. Okay. Ivona.com. Cool. So the other voices you can pay for? Is that what that is, or are they free? I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. All right. So cool. Awesome. Yeah, we'll have to check those out. It'd be really awesome if I could distribute them with LaunchBox, but I'm pretty sure I can't. Paid. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, EA. All right, so let's start with, for example, one fun thing is like never mind, right? So we have 3 sayings right now. We have fine then, good riddance, and stop wasting my time. Anybody have any other good ideas for the never mind command? So in other words, you say never mind, and LaunchBox says fine then, or good riddance, or stop wasting my time. Anybody else got any other good sayings to add here? Voice morphing. What do you mean by voice morphing, DJ Quad? You mean different voices? Yeah, these are voice commands, Pac-Man. $30 isn't bad. I never do. That's perfect. That is perfect. All right. Anybody any more for never mind before we move on to something else? Make up your mind. All right. Perfect. Beam me up, Scotty, for never mind. I don't follow that one, Game Room. I'm stupid when it comes to Trekkie stuff, though. Does that one make sense, guys? Beam me up, Scotty, for never mind. If anybody else sees anything else, speak up. But I'm thinking. So keep listening. The keep listening command is what you say when you want to be able to say multiple commands at once. Is that but is that good for never mind? That's what I don't understand. Why does beam me up, Scotty, work for never mind? And somebody explain that to me, because I'm stupid. I don't follow. And then so we have keep listening, and I have okay, I'll keep listening. Boring. I just love hearing you speak, and I will cherish every word you say. And then this is so stupid. Every word you say, every game you play, I'll be listening. That's so dumb. So what else we got for keep listening? Do I have to? Perfect. Oh, to me it means I wish to leave. Okay. All right. It comes from the command Captain Kirk gives to his chief engineer Montgomery Scotty Scott when he needs to be transported back to the Starship Enterprise. Okay, sure. I get it now. I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll put that in there. I just didn't really understand it, so. Cool. Thank you guys for explaining that one to me. Do I have to? Any others for keep listening command? If not, let's move on. So play game. I don't really want to be too snarky because we just want it to actually do whatever you're doing. Is that what they mean? Is that what you guys mean, Elliot? Or guys? What Elliot says? Beam me up, Scotty, instead of never mind, not a response. That sort of makes sense. So right now we're just working with responses. I can add commands as well, but right now we're just working on the responses, not the actual commands that you say to LaunchBox. Because it randomizes a response for each of these commands. Eventually we'll work on, you'll be able to change the commands and all that stuff. But for right now, we're leaving the commands the same. We're just working on the responses. So that makes sense. Let me know if we should get rid of that for the response, because that's not the command, that's the response. And then we have exit game, and we have some responses. We have exiting game. I didn't like that game either. What's next? Bible Adventures? I liked that one, and interesting. I do think that works better for, well, I don't know, guys. I'm gonna leave it for now. I think it's fine. Morphing the default voices can make them sound robotic, for example. Interesting. Okay. MorphBox Pro. Well, that's cool. Neat. I don't know how we'd integrate that, but that'd be neat. It'd be fun. You had that. Yeah, yeah. I see. I wasn't even blessed with a Nintendo Entertainment System when I was a kid. I had to go play it at other people's houses. but I probably would have had it too if I had an NES. I've actually seen. I think that's the game I've seen the Game Chasers play. And yeah, it was pretty dreadful. That's why I put it in there, because I watched the Game Chasers play it and it was horrible. It's funny. I think it's funny that that some people in the retro gaming community, even people who aren't religious or spiritual or Christians or anything, are fascinated with those games. I think that's just interesting. With the Christian games like that, it's odd. Anyways, any other responses for when you exit a game? What do you guys think? You know, Game Room, I haven't found a way to do that. What I would really love to do, I think there might be a way to change the inflection, but I haven't figured that out. Because it would be really nice if you could customize these all these responses and change the inflection so it actually had some feeling. But I don't know how to do that. Eventually I'll look into that, but that's not a priority for the moment. But yeah, that would be really awesome if you could really milk it, you know, and change the inflection on some of these, because it'd be a lot funnier and a lot more fun. But I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I think there might be a way to do it, but it's like really complicated, and you got to use a really complicated voice specific language kind of thing. I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me know if anybody's done that, but I haven't. I looked into it briefly a long time ago and gave up on it pretty quick. All right, so we're not getting any more responses for exit games, so I'll go ahead and we'll move on there. We have back, show all games, and show all games. I do have two of them. I got showing all games, and I don't think you have enough games. I'm not a big fan of that one. But any other ideas before we move on here? Hyperspeech supports it, but you have to use virtual audio cable, which is also commercial. Interesting. Huh. Oh, the Vox thing? It supports the Vox thing or inflection, DJ? And then we have exit commands. Ta-ta, have a nice life. Get out of here and go back to your boring programs, which, by the way, if you didn't know, that is a reference to one of the Doom messages that you get when you exit Doom. Inside joke there. And then go ahead and leave. I'm not jealous. Come on. I was wondering if you were ever going to be productive again. So let me know if anybody has any more ideas for those, and we can come back and add them. I do not see a game called All Games. That might be a little confusing, though. Here we go. I do not see a game called all games. So I will show you all of them. There we go. I like that. That's awesome. All right. Any more real quick before I move on and do something else? This is fun, but and we could play with it for a little bit after we get these in. Might as well. All right. We might spark some ideas if we go ahead and start it up and start talking to it for a little bit. I haven't tried doing this on the live stream, but I assume everything will work fine. I might have to turn up the audio so you guys can hear the response. I'm not sure. We'll find out. There it goes. I added a bunch of systems, can you tell? All right. LaunchBox.
Yes.
Hopefully you guys can hear the response.
It's okay. I'm not really very good at speaking either.
LaunchBox. Oops.
Come on now. The commands are right here on the screen.
Never mind.
I never do.
LaunchBox.
Yes.
Never mind.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Alright, we gotta remove that comma. LaunchBox.
Yes.
Never mind.
Fine then.
LaunchBox.
Yes.
Never mind.
I never do.
LaunchBox.
Yes.
Never mind.
I don't know where you're from.
Oh, come
but
on.
Your accent is extremely difficult to interpret.
Never mind.
Fine then.
LaunchBox.
Yes.
Never mind.
Fine then.
Come on, give me something different. LaunchBox.
Yes.
Never mind.
Stop wasting my time.
LaunchBox.
Yes.
Never mind.
Stop wasting my time.
So one thing I'm thinking about is perhaps I should put in an algorithm to make it sequential instead of random. Is one of the issues that I'm seeing that's annoying is just that it says the same thing twice in a row. So it almost feels like we should make it sequential instead of random. Maybe randomize the first one and then make it sequential after that. So that's something would really help with the voice recognition, I think. As far as the responses, so nothing ever, because because I'm thinking if we do that, then it's going to feel more real. I think that's my my thought. Why am I not seeing any games when I'm on all? That was weird. Oh, it's because I deleted a system. And so it was still stuck on that system. That's right. All right, anyways. What else did we tweak? Never mind. I need to get rid of that comma. And beam me up, Scotty, because it was awkward. And then keep listening. LaunchBox.
Yes.
Keep listening.
Every word you say, every game you play, I'll be listening.
Never mind.
Beam me up, Scotty.
LaunchBox.
Yes.
Keep listening.
Do I have to?
Yes, you do.
It's okay. I'm not really very good at speaking either.
We definitely need more of those statements. Never mind.
I never do.
LaunchBox.
Yes.
Keep listening.
I will cherish every word you say.
LaunchBox.
Pressing left.
Whoops. Exit.
Go ahead and leave. I'm not jealous.
Yeah, that makes sense. Pac-Man, I agree. 30-day trials, so that's cool. Yeah, that'd be fun. And hopefully it's as easy as just installing them, and then they're available in the list in LaunchBox, which is great. The voice recognition stuff, I think, is pretty much ready to go. The one problem we have is that there might be a couple problems. I'm not sure. One is that it's not showing up for some people for some reason. Another is it's not working for certain cultures. And the cultures thing I know I can solve, but I haven't figured out why every once in a while some random person can't use it. I have no idea. All I can figure is it's got to be some kind of configuration thing on their Windows, because it does require the Windows speech recognition and the Windows. It's the Microsoft stuff, and it has to be installed. The recognition, and then also the voice synthesis stuff as well. So, but I'm ultimately gonna be putting it out here without much tweaks. I just have to fix the culture stuff. Install and restart LaunchBox. Yeah, unfortunately though, there's at least one guy that can't get it working for the life of him, and I don't know why. I don't know how to troubleshoot that. What the problem is either. It just doesn't show up. He doesn't get any input. I don't know. It's kind of difficult to figure out, troubleshoot. Before we move on, I want to go to one more place, and that is the I think it's in the speech handler. I gotta make this code smaller. Where is it? Maybe it isn't in here. Oh, fail responses. This is it. So I made these translatable, but there's 5 different possible messages right now when you say something that it can't recognize. It's I have no idea what you just said, but I absolutely love the way you said it. I don't know where you're from, but your accent is extremely difficult to interpret. Come on now, the commands are right here on the screen. It's okay, I'm not really very good at speaking either. And maybe you should try working on your pronunciation. Anybody got any other ideas for things to say when it can't tell what you're saying? It's always good to have a lot of these, because that way it's a little bit less irritating and frustrating when it doesn't pick up what you're saying. So if we can come up with a few more of these, that would be awesome. Fail responses, when it can't understand what you're saying. This should be relatively easy, I would think. There you go. Say what? I like that. Say what? Okay, what else we got? What you talking about, Willis? Oh, man. I don't know about that one, but is there any chance that we're gonna be in trouble for being? I don't know. I don't know if there's any racist undertones for that or not. I hope not. Pac-Man, are you planning to have these voice commands user customizable? Yep, I am. I believe it or not, Pac-Man, I already have a user interface available to do that. It's just that I need to tweak it a little bit. And I didn't want to open it up from the get-go, because when you allow people to tweak it, it's less likely to work as well, and so it's more error-prone. So I will open that up eventually, yes. Operator error. Is that going to be too confusing about what it means, though? Operator error. I like that. I do like it. Operator error in Operator error. Indistinguishable. I don't know. We need something that means I couldn't understand you somehow or other, so that it's not just operator error, because people won't know what that means. And then I'll get, trust me, if I put operator error in there, you know what's going to happen. Somebody's going to say, why do I keep getting operator error coming up when I'm using voice recognition? That's what's going to happen. I promise. No, this won't slow down the software. This is actually a little bit different. This isn't what's going to slow down the software. What slows down the software is adding a bunch of different commands. So the more games you add, the stuff speaking out doesn't slow anything down. When I add more command options, that's what slows things down. For example, it's the voice recognition that slows things down, not the speech synthesis. And this is the speech synthesis. This is the commands, or the speaking back out. That doesn't slow anything down at all. I don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. I like that. I like that. Indistinguishable gobbledygook. Glossolalia? What is that? I'm not fluent in glossolalia. Okay. I can go for that. What is glossolalia, though? I am not fluent in BS. But I can't do that. I can't do that. All right. Let's see, one more. I missed that one. Does not compute. I like that. And then the operator error thing. Here we go. I think you have an operator error in your speech. What about that? I like that. All your base are belong to us. It does need to be somewhere. Where would we put that? How about on show all games? All your games are belong to me. Maybe that. I like that. Glossolalia or speaking in tongues. Ah, okay, all right. Sure. That's perfect. All your games are belong to me. I like that. All right, so I'm sorry, Dave, but I can't do that. What's the reference there? I should know. I'm an idiot. Sorry. Take the marbles out of your mouth. That's perfect. Hal, sure. Let's add that. Let's take the commas out, because the commas seem to slow it down awkwardly. All right, Jade. We'll be praying for you. I'll be praying for you in my head. You will be fine. I hope. All right. I think we're pretty well equipped now. That's awesome. Let's see if we can play with some of those and get some of them quickly before we move on to actual code. Get the nitrous. Get the nitrous. Where should we put that one, Doss? Oh, get the nitrous for... Gotcha. I'm sorry. Of course. For the dentist. Duh. We do have Easter eggs now. Sorta. Kinda, maybe. Yeah. That's not exactly, you know, the best Easter eggs ever, but it is hilarious nonetheless. Alright, so... LaunchBox.
Yes.
You're an idiot.
Pressing menu.
Oh, that didn't work very well. LaunchBox.
Yes.
You're an idiot.
Pressing menu.
It thinks, menu. Interesting. It might be kind of hard to test this out because it's hard to get it to not recognize you. LaunchBox.
Yes.
This is nonsense.
I think you have an operator error in your speech.
There we go. You're full of crap. You're full of crap.
Maybe you should try working on your pronunciation.
Maybe you should try working on yours. Maybe you should try working on yours. Yeah, it's hard to trick it.
What you talking about, Willis?
Oh, okay, we're good. LaunchBox.
Yes.
You're a fool. You're a fool.
I'm sorry, Dave, but I can't do that.
This is ridiculous.
Does not compute.
I love that. That's great.
Out of your mouth.
Never mind.
Beam me up, Scotty.
All right. That is pretty awesome. Yay. All right. Moving on. We got our fun stuff out of the way for today. Let me know in these live streams if you guys think of any more messages, and we'll get them added. They're easy to add, so the more we have, the more interesting it's going to be. I do need to make it sequential. I would kind of like to do that if we can. I'm not sure how easy that's going to be. I think it'll be relatively easy, actually. What the heck? Let's do it. Let's get it done. Because I think that'll make for a much better experience. Now that I'm in here, it shouldn't be long to get that going. So on the command type, I'm thinking, well, first off, let's figure out where it's actually saying the speech synthesis. And in speech handler, I need to make these actually translatable, but I'll do that later. Initialize. So speech detected. Speech recognized. Here we go. So I think there's a respond method. There it is. This.respond. You give it text. Oh, this is if it can't recognize it. So we have to do it there. In fail responses. So first off, private int last fail index, and then is this static? No, it's got a. Is there a constructor anywhere? I don't think there is. So let's add one. Public speech handler, and then last fail index. We're going to randomize it when we first load it up. So this dot last fail index equals utilities dot random dot next this dot fail responses dot length. Okay, and that will randomize the first one. And then what we can do down here, we can say if this dot fail last fail index is less than this dot fail responses dot length minus 1. So if we got what? We got like, I got to get this logic right. So if we had 2 of these, we would want 0 and 1 to work, but nothing else. So basically, the length is going to be 2 minus 1. I think we can just remove the... No, that's not right. So the length is 2 minus 1. Last fail index has to be 0 only. Okay, yeah. So that's right. That's right. And then we can basically say this dot last fail index plus plus, and then this dot respond. Instead of the random in here, we're going to say last fail index. And then otherwise, oops, get rid of this. Else this dot last fail index equals 0. So that will make it sequential in the fail responses. And then we have something else for the responses for a valid command, which we have to figure out where that is. Is there, where's response? Okay, so we get the response back from process input on the commands. Okay. These are the error messages. Otherwise, it's command.run. Here we go. This is where we randomize our spoken responses. Good. So this is where we need to change it. So this is on command. So what we can do on command is we can add a... Now wait a second though. Do we want to do it on command type? Probably. So on command type, I'm going to add a private int last response index. Or maybe it should be public, actually. Yeah, we're going to need it to be public. Public int last response index. Get and set. And in the constructors, we need to get the responses. I need to figure. I'm changing my mind here. When we make a command, where are we? All right, so sure, this is working. Yeah, so this should be in command, not command type. The problem with putting in command type is when we finally end up tweaking the commands, then it's going to be an issue. So we need to put this in command. The last response index. And we have spoken responses. Sure. So then all we need to do, well, we need a constructor for this. Do we have a constructor for, yeah, we do, right here. We need to figure out what the responses are. Sure. So basically, this dot last response index equals utilities dot random this dot spoken responses dot length. Oh, random dot next. So that will randomize the first response, and then the next ones will be sequential. Spoken response, actually we need this line down here in the other constructor as well, even though we're not calling it right now, we will. And then spoken commands and spoken responses should not have setters, I believe. Good. Now it's just a matter of tweaking this method here, the process input. Add an Easter egg to sing the bicycle built for two. The bicycle built for two song? I don't know that I've heard the bicycle built for two song. I'm sheltered. Hey, OPAC, welcome. So wherever we have the random. Wait a minute. Command.run. Yeah, that's what we need. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. So in all four of these spots, what we need is if we have, this is the command. So if this dot last response index, so that doesn't need to be public. That can be just private. If this dot last response index is less than this dot spoken responses dot length minus 1, then this dot last response index plus plus, else this dot last response index equals 0. Just like before, and then we just use this dot last response index in place of all these randoms. And in theory now, it should never say the same thing twice in a row. Ah, 2001 again. Okay. All right, so I think that'll do it. I was going to make... This doesn't need to be public, so we'll make this private. And then I'm going to rename... Oops. Come on. Resharper, give me a break. Alright, catch up. It doesn't need to be renamed. No, it doesn't need to. I need to go the other way. Oh, that's frustrating. Fine. Stupid thing. You happy now? You happy? Alright. There. Bingo. Let's build it and play with it a little. Uh-oh. I got errors. So somewhere we're actually... Oh, the update from data table. Sure. Spoken commands and spoken responses we're setting in commands. So we need that setter back. That's for when we allow customization. When we do that, we kind of need to re-randomize the last response index when we do that. So we could just make this public again. I'm just going to do that. Stupid thing. Now I got to do all this over again. Public int last response index get set. And then okay. And then what I'm going to do is just copy that basically, and that's going to go out here. Command dot last response index there. That'll do. Well, the text that LaunchBox says be editable for themes. Interesting. Potentially we could do that. It will be editable. The text that LaunchBox says. I'll show you what I had. So this is what's coming. I'm not opening this up yet, but in my voice configuration form, back when this was HT-Speak, before I moved it over, I had added this. Oh, you can't see anything, but this is a grid that lists all the commands and the text. What's going on, Visual Studio? Come back to me. The text and then the response and all that stuff in a grid. Problem is it didn't support multiple responses and multiple commands per command, or multiple, you know what I mean, whatever. So I need to change this up to support that stuff, and I haven't built the interface for it yet. So I'm going to have to revamp this, but yeah, it's all supported. It's just a matter of building the interface properly that supports the multiple responses and all that stuff. So it's almost there. All right, let's catch up here. What's this Wikipedia link? Bicycle built for two. earliest song sung using computer speech synthesis. Interesting. Yeah, sure. That's pretty neat. Are you going to allow game notes and platform notes to be read aloud by the software? Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It's just a matter. I mean, it's not hard to do. We have everything there to do it. So yeah, we can definitely do that. Develinsky. I think I know who you are, based on that name. Please fix back button after launch a game. Because if you launch a game and push the back button and push again launch game, you launch a game twice. Okay. I didn't know that was a thing. If you launch a game and push back and push again launch the game, you launch a game twice. Alright. Oh yeah, we can look at that. No worries. I didn't know that was an issue. But I'll take a look at that. Let's test up this voice stuff now that we should be compiling. Make sure we don't get anything in order here. Or the same thing twice. See how it works. Disable the back button after launching a game for 10 seconds. Why is the back button doing anything after launching a game? That's what I don't understand. I'll have to play with it. I'll play with it in a second. LaunchBox. LaunchBox. Uh-oh. What's going on now? Did I break it? LaunchBox. Big box. Computer. Arcade. I busted something. What did I break? What the heck? LaunchBox. I wonder if my sound card went kaput or something. It does that dumb thing. I could put on debug mode maybe. LaunchBox. LaunchBox. I have a feeling I just have to replug in my sound card. LaunchBox.
Yes.
There it is.
I am not fluent in glossolalia. Does not compute.
Never mind.
Make up your mind.
Okay, I'm going to disable debug mode. I still have an issue. By the way, DOS76, I think you're on here. Yeah. You remember how we tried to fix that USB thing to fix the sound card going kaput? Yeah, it didn't do anything. Yeah, I still have the same problem. Sorry, I never got back to you on that. Maybe, no, there it is. There it is. So we'll restart it. Wow, it's been an hour already. Holy crap. All right. LaunchBox.
Yes.
Never mind.
Beam me up, Scotty.
LaunchBox.
Yes.
Never mind.
Does not compute.
LaunchBox. Never mind.
Fine then.
LaunchBox.
Yes.
Never mind.
Good riddance.
LaunchBox.
Yes.
Never mind.
Stop wasting my time.
LaunchBox.
Yes.
Never mind.
I never do.
LaunchBox.
Yes.
Never mind.
Make up your mind.
LaunchBox.
Yes.
Never mind.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Cool. So yeah, it's looping all the way around. Went through all the commands. That's good. LaunchBox.
Yes.
Keep listening.
Every word you say, every game you play, I'll be listening.
Never mind.
Fine then.
LaunchBox.
Yes.
Keep listening.
Do I have to?
Yes, you do.
I think you have an operator error in your speech.
Never mind.
Good riddance.
LaunchBox.
Yes.
Keep listening.
Okay, I'll keep listening.
Never mind.
Stop wasting my time.
LaunchBox.
Yes.
Exit.
Ta-ta.
Cool. That's working much better. That's awesome. All right. One of these days, I'm going to toss. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if it's the drivers or my USB cable, which I doubt, or the stupid Focusrite Scarlett. But man, I have this. I can't really show it to you because it's got wires all over it. But I have this audio recording interface hooked up, and it's USB. It's a Focusrite Scarlett 2i4, and in Windows 10, I have the same issue with both the 2i2 and the 2i4, where I have to unplug it and plug it back in because the audio just stops working properly, which is really frustrating. So I'm about to throw them in the trash and get something different. Was that a reference to the Police song "Every Breath You Take"? Yes. Yes, it was. It sure was. I came up with that one all by myself. You do have the 2i2 with the same issue. No kidding. Well, grrr. It's frustrating. I have two of them on two different machines. I have the 2i2 and the 2i4, and they both have the same rotten issue. It didn't happen before, but somehow during a Windows update, it started happening, and I don't know how to fix it. But it's so frustrating that I can't. I mean, I paid a decent amount of money for those two things, and they're good. I like them. Other than the fact that happens, it just ruins the experience. Really frustrating. So I think what I'm probably going to end up doing is I'll keep them for when I do audio recording, but I'm going to just either switch over to the built-in sound card or get a better internal sound card. I don't know what it's just really irritating. Especially when I'm live streaming, I can't have my audio going in and out. It's not good. So anyways, moving on. That's awesome. Thank you guys. Real quick, I should make these translatable. So let me do that here. It won't take too long. And then we can move on to something different. Probably more glitches. That's not what I need. I need strings. Drag this over here so I can have it come up. It's going to be voice message. Say what? Voice message. What you talking about? Voice message. Don't understand the words. Voice message. Not fluent in glossolalia. Voice message. Does not compute. Voice message. Operator error. Voice message. Take the marbles out. Voice message. Sorry, Dave. All right. Now I'm going to grab this. You guys have seen me do this a million times over, but ultimately what I'm doing is I'm putting these strings in a lookup list so that they can be translated into the other languages. Thing is, I still have a lot of work to do in order to make the voice recognition engine actually work properly for other languages and cultures. In theory, the Microsoft speech recognition engine and then also the voice synthesis should support other cultures. However, one thing I'm curious about is the games are, not always, but the games are usually going to be in English. So I don't know how well that's going to work if you're using a different culture other than in English, and we use commands that are culture specific. I don't know how that's going to work. It might be tricky. There it is. Okay. Save all. What we have here is a failure to communicate. Oh, that's great. I like that. Strings. What voice message. What we have here. And then voice message, what we have here. What we have here is a failure to communicate. Perfect. All right. Now, so going back to my to-do list, which is growing and growing and growing, of course. This week, of course, I just need to focus on wrapping things up, fixing as many glitches as possible. The back button thing, back button after playing a game. I need to look into that. So this is a big one. For some reason, I'm noticing, and several people have noticed that customized platform folders are sometimes getting overwritten. I don't know why that's happening or when that's happening really, but I've seen it happen. So I definitely need to get that fixed before 6.9. I've noticed that we got a weird issue. Maybe you guys can chime in on when this started happening, but I just noticed this recently. Where, and this is just an issue where with it being ugly, driving me nuts. You see how it goes over the scroll bar there on the right. When the heck did that start happening? I just noticed that recently, and I'm like, what? So I got to fix that. That's been driving me nuts. And I didn't notice that until, of course, I added a bunch more platforms. What happened to my... Alright. Dropbox synced my stuff and messed my stuff up. I have a backup, though. Of course, I always have a backup. No, it's not. What? Oh, it was scroll down and resize the window. I get it. Never mind. Alright, so... But the issue is that when the scroll bar shows up, it doesn't make the difference. And I don't know when the heck that started showing up. That I didn't know that was an issue. Anyways. So I'm going to start with that. We got a lot of stuff to work to fix. So we're going to be fixing little tiny issues like that here. Why is that happening? So this is in the sidebar control. And it's the painting. The last two. How about a doe from The Simpsons? And didn't your mother teach you not to talk with your mouth full? That's great. Yeah, we should. I should definitely add those. I'm just gonna make a note of them so we can move on a little bit. Awesome. Okay, let's clean some of this stuff up. I don't like seeing stuff like that. And somewhere in here we have the stuff that paints everything. Paint. On paint. And we have a for each for the values. The drawing the focus rectangle. Rect. Scroll bar dot visible. I think I broke this recently. That's all I can figure. Maybe scroll bar is null? I think I messed up this logic when I was cleaning it up or something. So basically we have the left, the top, the width is what needs changed. And this logic is weird. It's combined. So wow. I think ReSharper screwed some stuff up for me. I think that's what happened here, honestly. What on earth? If scroll bar dot visible oh, I see what's going on. So now, if scroll bar dot visible, if it's not visible, then or if it's null, then scroll bar dot visible is false. If it is visible, Then we say the size.width minus the scroll bar.width. I think it's just a parentheses issue here. Or 0 if scroll bar is null, minus the padding. If it isn't visible, then it's just size.width minus padding. Yeah. I bet that fixes it. And I remember doing this recently. I messed it up recently. It's probably in these betas that I messed it up. That makes sense. So, there it is. That's better. That's how it's supposed to be. Cool. Good, good. Bye, Felicia, from the movie Friday. All right, I'll add that to my list here, to my to-do list. Okay. That's good. Done. Take that off the list. This, another thing that's really annoying that a lot of people are irritated about, and I don't blame them, and I'm seeing it more now myself, is when you go into the options and then you exit out. Big Box is really slow and ugly. Kind of hangs there for a second. So I kind of want to get that fixed. See what we can do about that. Let's turn this down a little. So for example, we go out into options. Doesn't matter if we change anything or not. See, that went quick this time. Sometimes it's not so quick, and I don't really know why. I'm thinking it's when it has to load it up, maybe. That would make sense. But if we take a look at document all the Easter eggs? No. No. That's the whole point. You don't document Easter eggs. Well, I guess you do if you're if you're a fan or something. That would make sense, yeah. But, I don't know. I'm not going to document them. All right. So this is going to be under Big Box View Models. Is it System View Model? On Escape. I don't think it is. I think it's Options View Model, maybe. Yeah, here we go. So we're doing a background save. The issue is if the background save requires a background load, or requires you to load it first. It's happening in the games view model, and it's happening in the options view model. That's it. It's only been called one place in the options view model. I'm actually wondering, though, if I should change this up, because we added... So if I say program.datamanager.save, and we don't wait, just do it like that. We don't do this whole new thread thing. Because this is already threaded. I changed this up later to be threaded. And then, so I'm going to, first off, fire that off. And we'll still do this join operation here, but all this is going to do is the cover flow cache clearing stuff. And we're going to get rid of this line here. And we'll see how that works, see if it's any better. I don't know. Well, the thing is, this is going to be optimized yet a little. We only want to do this if, so if options pages dot cover flow image quality changed. Then we're going to do this whole thing. And we can get rid of this if there. Now this save catch up on comments here real quick. Yeah, we will be adding options to enable, disable them, and even change all the different quotes. So yeah, eventually you'll be able to customize all the commands, all the responses, and everything. So it's not going to make it into 6.9, but it will be in there at some point. Like I said, I already have the ability to do that. I just got to fix the interface to allow multiple ones and all that stuff. So yes, that's planned. The Easter egg hunter from YouTube. Yes. Yes, they do. Check out that ticket. Cool. Oh wow, we got all these responses. Interesting. That's cool. I'm looking at this ticket, guys. This apparently is the hyperspin responses and all that stuff. So that's neat. Cool. Makes sense. All right. So I'm in the save method, and I want to see what happens. Just want to look at this logic and make sure we're all good with this logic. Because really, saving should be happening in the background. But that's what we want to confirm. Just have to make sure that it's not, that the thread is alive. We want to join it, which means it's not going to do it twice at once. Excuse me. It does the save inside the thread. And it should be loading it if needed too. Or is it doing that? Oh, I think that happens. In theory, it should be happening. I need to make sure that's actually working. Loading it. Whenever the file changes, it should be loading it automatically. So where's that happening? Force reload. Reload if needed. I see. So save. Interesting. So maybe in save we should call reload if needed. Of course, if we put this in save, it would be a risky change. But that would ensure that we never save. I need to explain some stuff to you guys. So basically what's going on right now, one issue that I'm seeing in Big Box is that when I'm running, for example, all right, I got Big Box running over here on my cabinet. I got LaunchBox running over here on my desktop. All right, so we got both of them running at the same time. All right, I want to make it so that if you make a change over on the computer, and at the same time you make a change on the cabinet, that nothing gets overwritten and everything stays. And in Dropbox, that's actually possible, and it's been working without a problem for the most part for a while. But I noticed recently that there's some stuff going on in Big Box that is overwriting changes in LaunchBox. So that's one thing I need to fix, and I was looking into that. The trick with that is you just basically have to, before you save the file, you got to check to make sure that the file, nothing has been updated in the file that needs to be loaded before saving it again. So anyways, the issue in Big Box is that we're not calling reload if needed when we save. I think. So that should be relatively easy to fix in theory. When you go into the options, the issue there is that we're going to have to reload if needed when you enter it and then save it when you exit it. Ultimately. Or really we should be, I wonder if we're saving on every, saving on every change. Because if we're saving on every change, that's the ideal thing to do. So on every single change you make, we should be saving it and loading it first if necessary. Let's catch up on comments here. Thank you, Evil Ways. Appreciate that. Demo mode. Big Box launch a random game for 40 seconds. If you not play, back to Big Box and launch a new random game. Yeah, that's possible. I planned on doing that eventually. Back when I built the attract mode, this was only the first step for the attract mode. Eventually, we will have it launch games, but that won't make it into 6.9. But we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. DOS 76. I'm fluent in over 6 million forms of communication, but that is not one of them. Oh, that's great. I like that. Oops. I can't copy paste text from there. Okay. Perhaps you have had too many martinis. Whatever it is you are smoking, I would like some too. Sure. Cool. Thank you, DOS. Awesome to hear, Evil. That's cool. Saving on every change may make it slow. It could, yeah. But the thing is, it should be happening in the background, so it shouldn't matter. But that would be really neat to have it save and reload save states. The problem is you need a hook into every single emulator in order to support that. So no, it won't do that right now. Eventually we can get there, but as of right now, we have to figure out the keyboard combinations or whatever it is for every single emulator in order to support something like that. So unfortunately, oh, I get it, DOS. Thanks. Ciao. Take it easy. Have a good one. Thanks, Devel. All right, give me 1 second, guys. Apologies, I need to take a trip to the bathroom. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna try doing it on saving on every change, and we'll see what happens. We'll go a little crazy and see how well it works. Yeah. That makes sense, Beatlemaniac. You know, I'm torn, Beatlemaniac, on including Rocket Launcher. I've been throwing that out to the community, and the community is pretty torn, 50-50 on whether they think that's a good idea. I will say, we're not that far off from most of the Rocket Launcher functionality for some systems without it. For example, for my bar top, I've chosen not to use Rocket Launcher because I want to keep it simple, and things are pretty streamlined with the big ones. You know, MAME and RetroArch, everything's, and then a few others as well. I'm not having any issues, so Rocket Launcher isn't needed for that stuff. I don't happen to like the loading screen stuff and all that kind of stuff. I think it just complicates the interface for me. So personally, I don't like all those things. So I'm at this point I'm leaning towards not integrating Rocket Launcher into LaunchBox. And the other thing is, like, I would have to get their permission and all that stuff too if I did that, and I haven't gone out to get their permission at this point because I haven't made the decision on whether that's something I'd like to do or not. But I can still be swayed either way by you guys as far as whether integrating Rocket Launcher is a good idea into LaunchBox. I think overall I want to keep LaunchBox simple presentation wise, and this is just the defaults. Obviously, you'll always be able to use Rocket Launcher with LaunchBox, but this is what comes out of the package by default. And so I'm thinking lean more towards simplicity. So I'm not currently favoring integrating Rocket Launcher, although I go back and forth, and the community can change my mind. So let's see what you guys have to say about that. Evil ways, keywords right now. I'm confused. And then it was the first thing I thought of when I saw the voice controls. I'm not following. Red alert. The only other feature that I need is a marquee feature. Then I could get rid of Rocket Launcher. Sure. Marquee, meaning the physical marquee on a cabinet, changing it up for the game. That's coming. That's actually planned relatively soon here. Omen. LaunchBox supports alternate emulators on a per ROM basis. Okay, sure. That's not that difficult to do. The easiest way to get the voice commands to work with every emulator is to integrate Rocket Launcher and use everything through Rocket Launcher. Or you can create your own software, but that sounds like a pain. That is true. Rocket Launcher, that's the kind of thing Rocket Launcher provides, is the ability to integrate various features of all these different emulators, and it does an excellent job with that. So that's a very good, compelling point in that Rocket Launcher provides hooks for all these things. Although I don't know how easy it's going to be to hook into that stuff for voice control. I really don't have any idea at this point. Pac-Man, for me, it's more important to have a good integration with Rocket Launcher rather than bundling it with LaunchBox. Yeah, and I think a lot of people are with you on that, Pac-Man. And that is always going to be planned. I'm never going to, for any reason, distance LaunchBox from Rocket Launcher. I hope to just keep making it easier. Because I know a lot of people really, really enjoy the way Rocket Launcher does stuff. So that's definitely important either way. Would prefer not to have to use extra software, sure. So yeah, again, even on this stream, we're getting about 50-50 pro and against, including Rocket Launcher. Actually, we might be getting... a lot of you guys are pro Rocket Launcher, but you don't necessarily want it distributed with LaunchBox. So I'm getting more feedback. I think I'm getting more feedback against actually distributing Rocket Launcher with LaunchBox, which again, we don't even have permissions to do at this point. So yeah, I don't think that's going to be the way we proceed, most likely. But again, I can always be convinced otherwise. Ah, static fade, the voice stuff. That makes sense. As long as Rocket Launcher always works great, then with Big Box, there's no need to include it bundled. That makes sense. Oh, sure. I get you, Evil. Thank you. Get you, Jay. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, and that, to be honest, that solidifies my hunch, I suppose. So the plan is to, yes, make Rocket Launcher better, integration better all the time. I know the Rocket Launcher guys are still working on the plugin, the LaunchBox plugin, which is great. So yes, better Rocket Launcher support is always a good thing, but let's not integrate it. I think that's a good plan. Gotcha. Quad. Yeah. All right. So basically, that means we're on the right track, and we're not gonna change things up. Cool. And over time, we can add some more features that may overlap Rocket Launcher, but don't need to do that right away because Rocket Launcher conquers a lot of that stuff. So that's great. Anyways, I'm going to go to the options pages. So the options page view model, I think the options view model actually is what we need. We have on enter. Come on, where's my on enter? So we have an options page active, and we do selected menu item dot on enter. And selected menu item, each of these, this is options menu item view model base. We have different ones for each type. And this is the controller button. This sets the controller button. We read a button. We set the value. But yeah, we don't save anything immediately. I'm thinking, well, the thing is, if we, we'll see what happens here. So we need to modify this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Let's close out of everything else, because so when we save the stuff, not an attached view, the list, so item.next, oh, the saving is happening elsewhere, isn't it? Huh. So this is all happening in data. We have options pages, and we have these here, and the setting equals this, and this equals the setting, and all that stuff. Options checkbox item. We have all the items. And then, sure, save action. So the saving is all happening in here, in these items. The thing is, like, when we're going through a list, sometimes you're bam, 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 bam. So saving it every single time it changes, yeah, I'm changing my mind. That's not a good idea. Granted, it should, in theory, work properly, because it's not going to save it multiple times, but yeah, that's not a good idea. So we're back to when you enter the options, you should reload first if needed. And then when you save, and when you exit the options, you should save. In theory, is what we need to do. Alright, comments. Game room. I have no issues with the Rocket Launcher plugin in LaunchBox. It's great for people that use it, but I personally don't like it. Sure. Beatlemaniac, are you open to the idea of creating your own Rocket Launcher type of software that encompasses all emulators so that you can get voice recognition and all the pros of Rocket Launcher and get rid of all the cons of Rocket Launcher for an easier, more user-friendly solution? I just hate the idea of configuring every emulator to work with LaunchBox when there could be a solution to get all of the emulators working with LaunchBox under one software solution. Very, very long term. Potentially. However, to be honest with you, I think Rocket Launcher is always going to be more powerful for the uber power users who want all kinds of extra features for launching games. At least for the foreseeable future, LaunchBox's goal is not to do everything Rocket Launcher does. Because you can already do it with Rocket Launcher. Do I want a simple solution that works all over the place and has clean launching and all that stuff without Rocket Launcher? Yes. But do I want to implement every single feature Rocket Launcher does? No. Just use Rocket Launcher. Like I said, we're not getting rid of Rocket Launcher support. We're just not going to include it with LaunchBox. So there does need to be a solution for casual users, yes, but the casual user solution is not going to be as complicated and involved as Rocket Launcher gives you, because a lot of the features just aren't necessary, frankly, and it's user taste whether you want some of those features. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. Take it easy, Evilways. Thanks for joining. Hey, ForceFed. Chat is really slow. It takes about 3-5 minutes for each chat message to pop up on my stream. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't have any idea. I don't know what to do about that, guys. Sorry. It's probably the fact that we're streaming heavy. I could try turning down the streaming bitrate. Really, I think... yeah, so I think what's happening is you got bandwidth issues if it's taking that long to load up. You could try refreshing the stream. Elliot, really there just needs to be a halfway decent guide to setting up Rocket Launcher, getting the basic setup working for all emulators platforms you can think of shouldn't take more than 15 minutes and is even easier than LaunchBox in my opinion. The issue is that Rocket Launcher documentation is terrible, and there are so many options and features that most people don't need that it looks overwhelming. I think you've nailed it, Elliot, as far as the issues with getting Rocket Launcher set up. Once I figured out where the stuff was I needed to get to, I figured out Rocket Launcher really wasn't that difficult to configure. But yeah, it's overwhelming. They don't do a good job of saying, these are the features you really need, and only showing you the features you really need with an advanced option in a different spot. That's the kind of thing the configuration doesn't do very well. But once you learn the basics, it's super, super easy. Yeah. Agreed. Anyways, same stance going forward. We want Rocket Launcher support. We want good Rocket Launcher support, and we're going to keep improving Rocket Launcher support, but we're not going to be including it in LaunchBox. And piece by piece, we'll add various features that we think casual users could use. Hopefully that works. So, back to development. I'm thinking we need to call reload if necessary. when we load up. Well, first off, let's see if it's actually being called already. Data manager, reload if necessary, if needed. I want to see where that's happening actually. File changed. So we add this, and this should work whether in big box or not. This watcher basically watches the LaunchBox.xml file to see if it changes, ultimately. And if it changes, then we say that a file reload is needed, and we call it reload if needed before we save, which I think is what we're missing, which is causing some of the problems. So play menu action is already calling it. That's good. So on enter when we play, we call reload if needed. And then save it. Yeah. That looks good. The working control, that's in LaunchBox. That's in LaunchBox. That's in LaunchBox. LaunchBox. Program. And logic handler. Oh, the voice recognition stuff. Okay, this isn't even being used right now. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. That was a relic from old voice recognition stuff, actually. And logic handler. This is in the, okay, this is the new play game method from the voice control. We reload it if we need it, and we save it after we increase the play count on the game. Sure. But that's the only two spots we're doing it. We're not reloading in the options, which I think is probably the issue. So when we enter the options, so this is going to be in the system view model. Well, first off, we got background save. I think that's in app. There's 3 references to this. In games view model base and options view model, of course. What's going on in games view model base? When we toggle favorites. Yeah, this is a problem. Same thing with toggle broken. We need to reload if needed before we call background save. So program.datamanager.reload if needed. And then the game changes. This dot selected game view model dot game equals good. Yeah. So we get the game's ID here first. We have the game's ID ultimately. If program.datamanager.games.contains key, this dot selected game view model dot game dot ID. If that doesn't exist, then we have an issue. We're going to report an error somehow. Otherwise, the game equals program.datamanager.games. This.selected game view model.game.id. Okay. And from there, game.broken. Sure. I think that'll do it. And we need to do the same thing, except yeah, I think that'll be fine. I don't think it's not a common enough scenario that we need to pop up an error message. And if somebody is removing a game from their collection on one system and then going to another one and trying to favorite it, that wouldn't make much sense. So it's not like that's a scenario that I'm really worried about. But we definitely need to reload it in that situation. I think that'll solve the... So basically what this means, what was happening before, is if I favorited something over here and had made a change over on the computer, it wasn't going to load the change from the computer before saving it over here, and it was losing some... You could potentially lose some data if things got out of sync. So that's what I'm fixing there. That's for toggle favorite and toggle broken, which had been calling the background save. And then options view model as well calls background save on escape. Now when you load options view model up, we do need to call the reload if needed. Alright, I got comments to catch up on here, guys. Hey, David. Big Box crashes when exiting a game almost 50% of the time, and I'm assuming it's something to do with Rocket Launcher. Wow, that's bad. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that with using Rocket Launcher either. Are you using VLC or are you using Windows Media Player, Omen? Do me a favor and hit me up on the forums with that, and we can troubleshoot it, because that shouldn't be happening, obviously. I need to get that fixed before the 6.9 release, too. Not good. Hey, Ali. Welcome. Elliot. That'd be cool, Elliot. Bring back the beard. The beard is coming. It's growing. Like I said, I shave every 2-3 months and let it grow in the meantime, so it'll be back. Windows Media. Okay. Odd. Yeah, there's something strange with the configuration. Because that's not a common issue. I know that. If that was a common issue, then we'd have all kinds of problems. So something strange going on there, Omen. So yeah, if you would create a you could create a ticket for it on Bitbucket, or actually I'd rather kind of discuss it on the forums. David, my wife likes my beard, but she doesn't like the mutton chops that I had going on, so I had to get rid of those. But she doesn't mind the full beard. She likes the full beard. Thank you, Omen. Okay. So when we load up the options view model, ultimately, show options. There. When we show the options, I just need to call program.datamanager.reload if needed. Now the catch with that is we may need to show a loading dialog while that happens, because that could take a while. So lastly, I need to add that in there. Loading. I've got something in here for showing a loading dialog. Where's that? I know we do it when we clear the cache. Please wait. Bah. Where do I do that? There it is. So this is how we're doing it right here. So ultimately, we need to do that same kind of thing. app.mainViewModel.show message, message please wait, thread. We don't want a thread.sleep 1000 in there. Maybe 100. We might want to tweak that a little bit. That's not really good. Okay, now we want to change what it's doing here. And instead of that, do this. Okay, and then when that's finished, we hide the pop-up, and then we change the active view model. Something like that. See how that works. And I want to check, before we build this and test everything, I want to check the data manager to see if we're actually saving it anywhere else, and confirm that we're reloading with those as well. So I need LaunchBox, data manager, save. So this is an app, that's background save, yeah. Play menu action, we've already confirmed is fine. Main view model. Wow, we got a lot of this. What's going on in the main view model? Why do we got all these? Oh, this is on switching the views. Oh man, maybe that's a big part of the issue. So we're calling save whenever on all these view switches as well, which is a problem. Because every single one of these, yeah, this method's big. So how are we going to do this? Do I need to pull up a... Yeah. Bah. I kind of need a method in here. Huh. So we do all the saving, and then down here we actually show the stuff. It would be a better solution, I think, to save the stuff on exit if we can, because saving it right here could cause performance issues. So I'm thinking if we switch this up to save it on exit, that would be a smarter way to do this. But anytime we reload it, it's not gonna, yeah, that's not gonna work either. Dang it. So in most cases, it's not going to be a problem. But when it is a problem, we're going to have to pop up a please wait dialog. So, I wonder what else we got to deal with. Obviously, on switch games view is an issue. I've got to tackle that. We have, there's more here though. There's also on switch platforms view, of course, same kind of thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. Is that what we got? Is there 10 of them in this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there's this as well, initialize controller. I see. So this is happening all over the place. So no wonder I'm seeing overwrites. It's not good. We really got to get these fixed. Although it's an annoying problem to fix. But it's kind of important to get this fixed because I don't want anybody's data getting overwritten if they're running it on two different computers at the same time. Now we could potentially create a method that, no, that's not going to work because so yeah, I could simplify this and in theory do this all behind the scenes, clean this up a little bit so that you could I'm gonna try and clean this up a little, as I'm tired of dealing with this issue, and if I can fix it with an easy approach, that's gonna be the better way to do it. So here's my idea. We say public void reload save, and this way it's all going to be done in the background, and the first thing we're going to do parameter wise, we need an action that's going to do stuff after the reload is complete and before the save. So I'm just going to say action changes. And then what it's going to do is call in a thread. So first things first, if this dot thread is not equal to null and this dot thread dot is alive, then this dot thread dot join okay, we might need a different one, but I'm not sure. Then what we can do is we do the, well, we need the actual thread because this is all going to be happening in a thread in the background. This new thread I don't like what ReSharper's doing to me here. Yeah, whatever. And we need these. And we scroll down and we're going to need that as well. I'm going to call this background reload save with action changes. Oh, that needs to go outside of the thread. Okay. Then in here, we need to call this dot reload if needed. After the reload is complete, we need to call changes. Changes like that. Yeah, that was right. And then we save. Except we need to skip the joining somehow because we're already in a thread at this point. Unless we use an event. This dot thread dot state change maybe. How do I get an event when the thread's completed? Come on, there ought to be an easy way to do that. What the heck? Thread C# system.thread completed event. I guess that's task, but that's not what I want to do. I want to just use my threads. Yeah, so perhaps I just need to thread that is alive. Yeah, but that's not an event. And so what I would have to do is sleep through it until it's done, which is poor. That's not a good approach. So basically, what I need is I need to figure out, I need something to trigger when the thread's completed so I can call the save method. Either that or I have to come up with a new save method to not use the threads, which is really stupid, annoying. Because I want to do all this stuff in the same thread that I've already got going on here, ultimately. And that sucks. I mean, I could just copy paste the code and it would do exactly what I wanted to, but I don't want to copy paste code. I think what I'm going to have to do, irritatingly, is do a private void save internal, and take all this code here, and paste it in here. And string destination path. And then we call this .save internal destination path. And then we just call that same save internal method here. And in this case, it's going to be null because it's using the defaults for this method. And in theory, what this will allow us to do is to automatically reload, make a change, and then save, all in the background, so you're none the wiser. You don't have to wait for anything, is what, in theory, this will let us do. So hopefully that works well for us. And supposedly this should eliminate any delays as well. So let's give it a shot. So this is initialized controller. So in this case, what we're going to do is program.datamanager.background reload save, and an action like this where we just say program.datamanager.bigboxsettings.gamepad ID equals gamepad ID. And it's that easy, one-liner, and it should just happen in the background and nobody should even know, which is ideal. That's good. I like this. Cleans things up quite a bit. So then also the switch views methods should use the same thing on switch games view. And we're going to change this guy just like that. The only issue with that in this context is down here it requires the we're going to need this command twice because it's going to get down there before it's completed loading and saving. So that could be a potential issue. Better idea there, though, is that in background reload save, we call changes twice. So that it's immediately available before the save completes. And then we could potentially run into some threading issues here. It's kind of scary. But hopefully this works well enough. And same thing here, except we need this instead. Oops. You know, let's do this instead. Copy that. Paste that. That makes it easier. Yeah. There. All right. And then on Switch Platforms view, same deal here. Okay. All right. See if we build. And then I just need to keep looking and make sure that I'm tying all my loose ends. So it builds. Let's go into Data Manager again. And then the save method. And everywhere in Big Box, we need to look for everywhere in Big Box that we're actually using this save method, and maybe change it over. Consider changing it over. So the background save method, there's still 3 references to this. Options view model, we're going to continue to use this. Question is games view model base for toggle favorite and toggle broken. I think we should go ahead and use the same previous, the same method for these. So what we can do is string ID equals this dot selected game view model dot game dot ID. Then we call program dot data manager dot background reload save, and then I'm going to do this, and we can say if program dot data manager dot games dot contains key ID, then program dot data manager dot games ID dot broken is equal to not program dot data manager dot games ID dot broken. And then we also have to set the game on the selected game view model. I think that'll do it. Then we get rid of this, we get rid of that, and we get rid of this. And then also is this as well, and this. We'll need to test this stuff, but I think that'll do it. And then the same thing up here. This is .favorite instead. And that stays the same. Oh, you know what? This stuff all actually needs to happen. Okay, so background reload save actually calls changes in the same thread. So yeah, we can count on it being updated immediately. That's good. So I think we'll be okay with that. We need to get rid of background save. All right. Whew. Now, go back to the save method. Play menu action. We're doing the same thing. So I think here we want to do it as well. I'm going to change this up a little. So program.datamanager. Oh, we need the game ID here first. String ID equals this.game.id. Okay. Where is this .game coming from? Menu action base. Okay. Anyways. Then program.datamanager.background reload save. Here we go again. So if program.datamanager.games.contains key ID, then program.datamanager.games.id.lastplayedDate, then also play count plus plus. And those are the only two changes that we make. We do set the game, so we'll do that as well. Oops. Okay, and I don't need any of this stuff anymore. Okay. In theory, that'll do it there. What else we got? App, this is the background save method, which is only happening under options, which is correct. System view model. What are we doing in system view model? Once again, we got to do this here as well. Man, it's everywhere. But this will be good to fix because it should... I know this is boring stuff, guys. I apologize for that. But this will eliminate any delays when saving and loading, for one thing. And then also eliminate any issues with conflicts between two computers. So it's important to fix. It's a good thing to fix. So I'm sorry it's kind of boring, but we're going to keep going on this path and make sure everything's perfect here. It's already 12. I'm sure we can wrap this up before 12:30, but or I hope anyways. We did our fun stuff this morning though, so hopefully I haven't lost you guys completely. Okay. So we're setting a lock pin basically in this at this point. So this is where we set it to nothing. This is going to be simpler, but it's still the same kind of concept. It's program.datamanager. .background reload save. All we really got to do is program.datamanager.bigboxsettings.lockpin equals string.empty. That's it. Otherwise, oh, I'm showing you my encryption key for the lock pin stuff. That's probably not a good security thing. Oh well. It's just the lock pin saved on your computer. That's all it is. No big deal. But I do encrypt the lock pin in the XML so that nobody can, just get whatever pin you're using by looking at the XML file. And I use good encryption, but now that you guys know the two keys, it's it doesn't do any good, really. Awesome game room. That sounds like a good time to me. Okay. We do that. And then add another parentheses. We get rid of save. That should be good. Okay. So app, and then sidebar control is in LaunchBox. Working control is in LaunchBox. Game details GUI. Let's actually make this easier on ourselves and actually use the proper find references dialog. Actually, you know what? That's not as easy. Believe it or not. Working control. Game details GUI. Add edit form. Bulk edit wizard form. Clean up images form. Configure emu movies form. Download metadata form. Import games from files wizard form. Main form. Emulators, forms, processes, export, it's fine, program. That I might want to look at, but we'll come back to that. Games database, local DB, logic handler, logic handler. Logic handler and program. This is play game. Okay, we got to change this one too. All right. So we should copy this stuff out of menu actions, play menu action, this code here, save us some time. And instead of this .game, I have game coming in. Except this doesn't do any good. No reason for that. So we can get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of that. I see that. We can get rid of this. And these. There it is. So that took care of the logic handler. And then in program, what's going on here? Okay, this is, yeah, we can leave that. No big deal. Okay, good. So I've covered all the bases now in Big Box. All the saves are using that method except for the options, which should... that makes sense, Pac-Man. That's a big file. Awesome, Omen. So the only situation where this could be a potential issue right now is when you load up the options screen, it caches it and then saves it when you exit. So the only time, so if you're in the options and you're messing around while somebody is doing something over here, it's going to be a problem potentially. But other than that, we're good. So as long as you're not sitting in the options screen, everything should be fine. And that's not a common situation. So usually when you go into options, you make your change and you leave. So hopefully we're good there. The reload if necessary. I already loaded that up, already did that, and then it already saved. So I think we're okay. Let's build it and see what we get. See how things behave. This is a little bit of an experiment, so we might need to make some adjustments. We'll see. And then I'm sure LaunchBox could benefit from some of these changes too, but I'll do that later. Because we've only been working on the big box stuff. Okay. Turn this down. So back out and go into options. Okay, you saw the loading pop up for a second when I went into options. That's fine. And then if we make a change, for instance, actually we probably don't even need to make a change. Just back out. It did take a split second there when we backed out, but so I might want to pop up a dialog when you back out too, but so far so good. One thing that would be a good test is just to keep spamming this. Make sure we don't run into any issues. You notice we got a bunch of videos playing in the background, I just realized. So we're back to our VLC issues there. Darn it. Oh man. Alright, well I better add that to my list. We still have some instances where the VLC videos are playing in the background if I go too quick. So VLC playing in background when going into options menu or system menu. So there's that. Like I said in the beta testing thread, I have been forcing myself to use the VLC engine for the past couple weeks just so I can discover all the issues and get them all fixed, because I'm sick and tired of VLC having an issue. Of course, I've been like that for weeks. I've been trying to get everything fixed with the VLC engine. So, anyways, options back. Options back. Uh-oh. Yeah, I did something here. I think I know what's going on, but potentially it's catching up, but it took it a while because it was saving it too much all at once. So what can we do about that? So basically, what causes that problem is the thread.join stuff, because we don't want more than one save and load operation going on at once. And when it calls the thread.join, it delays the interface ultimately. So instead of thread.join, what could we do instead? In other words, what happens is if there was already a save in process, then it is going to delay the interface to wait for it to finish before it lets you continue. Maybe what I should do, I wonder if we put the thread.join in the new one, if that would work. I think it should. So let's try this. Var old thread equals this dot thread. Now, if old thread is not equal to null and old thread dot is alive, in other words it's still running, then we say old thread dot join. That might actually work. I don't know why it wouldn't, which is good, because that's going to basically run in the background. It's going to wait in the background, ultimately, which is exactly what we want. And then that could be, we could benefit from that with the save method down here too. So var old thread equals this dot thread. And then if old thread is not equal to null and old thread dot is alive, then old thread dot join. Which is probably going to be a cleaner way of doing it. All right, see what happens. I'm dooming myself by spamming these buttons. I really am. But if we can fix it when we're spamming buttons, then we should be pretty good to go. See how this works. Oops. All right, I pressed the wrong keys, but that was pretty promising, and I started up a game on accident. But heck, that survived. Every time I do that, in theory, it should be saving it and loading it. And this is all happening in the background so that you don't ever have to wait for it. Of course, the catch with doing operations like that in the background is if you ever exit or something crashes or something happens while it's in the process of doing that, that's a problem. But so another thing we should do is make sure before we exit ever that those operations are done. Otherwise, we could have a problem. So that's something to consider, look at. But yeah, I think that's a big improvement. That's good. Why did I need... Oh, because of the reload if needed. Yeah, so I think Big Box is pretty much set for that loading and saving stuff. At least I hope. I should check the favorite and all that kind of code as well to make sure that's working as expected. Thank you, Pac-Man. So, let's go into something I don't have any favorites for. Pull up Jaguar. Set Double Dragon to be a favorite. Oops. Wrong key. Crap. Get out of here. There we go. What is my key for the details? I know how to do all this stuff on my cabinet, but I don't have all the shortcuts memorized. Options. I gotta go into options. Duh. And then keyboard mappings. Space is show game details. So we mark this as a favorite. Uh-oh. Okay, so yeah, you see how the text isn't updating like it's supposed to? That's kind of what I was afraid of. So we got to figure that out. Okay. So what's going on there? That's under... Where was that? Ah, my mouse just died. There we go. Static fade. While watching this, I noticed something I would like if possible. Is there a way in Big Box, while inside a platform, to show fan art for those that do not have them, that do have them, and if not, show the generic picture of all the games like Jason has on the screen at the platform level? Yes. Yeah, that already exists, static fade. Just a matter of putting fan art on games and showing the platform, and it'll show the platform backgrounds if it doesn't exist. All right. Logic. There it is. Toggle favorite and toggle broken. So, sure. So, maybe what I need to just do is this. Bool favorite equals this dot selected game view model dot favorite. Oops. Dot game dot favorite. And then we set it to, oh, I get what's happening. It's doing it twice. That's why it's a problem. Gotcha. Of course. There it is. And then down here, well, it's the new value is what we need to set it to. I think that'll be less confusing. So we set it to the opposite of what it currently is, and then we set it there, and then what we can do is just use the value. And then toggle broken. Bool broken equals not this dot selected game view model dot game dot broken. And we set it to broken. What was happening is it was actually setting these values more than once, and since it's just cycling between them, and so we're gonna have the same kind of problem for like the play count plus plus situation. So got some more fixes there, but thankfully this is easy to fix. This stuff is no big deal. So that should be good, and then change this to broken. There. Okay. Play menu action we need to change. So string ID datetime.now is fine. The play count is what we have to worry about. So int play count equals this dot game dot play count plus 1. So play count equals play count. That'll do it. And then also, those are the two broken and favorite things that I just set. The main view model, do we need to worry about it for any of these? No, doesn't matter. Same thing with the platforms. Yep, that doesn't matter either. I think we're good there. Just to check though, make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, that's the last one in the, and the one above that is switch platforms view. And the top one is switch games view. Sure, good. So main view model is done. We got system view model. This is the pin stuff. But we're just setting it to a static value every time. So that's good. And then the lock pin value, we could do that beforehand, but that's not a big deal. Then unlock as well, same deal. That's fine. Then logic handler. We definitely have to modify this one. So int play count equals game.play count. And then instead of this, we need to say, oh, play count plus 1. There. Because otherwise it would have been integrating or adding 1 twice. Incrementing is the word I was looking for. So it would have been marking you played the game twice when you only played it once. So I'm glad I did that. Found that bug. That would have been annoying. Okay, so give this a shot now, and hopefully we'll be good to go. Okay, go back into Jaguar. Go into, where were we? Doesn't matter. Cannon fodder, whatever. Oops. I keep forgetting that it automatically loads up the game. There it is. Okay, we're going to, there it is. Favorite, unfavorite, favorite, unfavorite. So I'm causing it right now to save 10 million times, but in theory it looks safe enough. And then same thing with broken. That's working great. I think we're in good shape with that stuff. That's good. All right, well, thank you guys. It's just about 12:30. I'm going to put in some additional work next to make sure that Big Box and LaunchBox never exit while a save operation is still running, which is obviously pretty important. So we'll do that next. But other than that, I think we're pretty good with the save stuff. I still need to go back through LaunchBox and clean some stuff in LaunchBox 2 to do the same thing, because that would be beneficial. Because that, in theory, we could remove a lot of the weighting in like the options screen and stuff like that. In theory, so that's exciting. That's good. But yeah, good progress today, I think. Thank you guys. See you guys on Wednesday. Thank you, Static Fade. Take it easy. And hit you guys up on Wednesday.